Good morning. We're gonna pour some concrete today. Get our driveway done here. We gotta get a few things around this morning. We gotta get our concrete tools, finishing tools, floats, edgers, that kind of stuff around. And I need some expansion foam to go between the existing concrete and the new pour. And I don't know if we have any, so I'm gonna look around and see what we can find. Well, I found most of what we need. We've got our bull float and 4 poles. That's all we've got. One of my buddies that's coming to help me pour today, I think he's got some more we might need. Yeah, and then we got our bucket of assorted tools that some will use, some we won't. Our edgers are in there. Steel floats, mag floats. Should all be good. And then I found that expansion joint. Now, it's not quite tall enough, but it'll probably work. I think we're just going to go with it. Got my expansion joint put up there. That actually, yeah, it'll work fine. Could have been a little taller there, but it'll be okay. So that is good. I do still got to get some blocking put underneath this bar, so I'll go figure that out and get the rest of this stuff unloaded here. So I found some cinder blocks there, and basically just break them up into a bunch of little pieces, and then we take these and stick them underneath this rebar to help hold it up. All right, well, that looks pretty good. So the idea with the rebar, for those of you that don't know, concrete 101 here, it is concrete has very, very high compressive strength, right? It does not compress. However, it has very weak or low tensile strength. Not that it stretches, but that it cracks and pull apart and separate. Rebar has very good tensile strength. And so the idea here is to put this rebar in, and you want it about 1/3 of the way up from the bottom of the slab. And so in this case, we're doing a 6-inch slab. That's up 2 inches from the bottom. That's about what we tried to shoot for here. And basically what happens is, as the concrete cracks, this rebar is going to be very tightly held inside of it. See all these rough ridges on here? Basically that gets adhered to the concrete as it cures and hardens, and so the bar does not slide in the concrete. And so imagine, well, let's just look at our existing slab there. We've got these cuts, right? And those cuts are there to control the cracks. So this slab is cracked everywhere we have one of these cuts. I don't know if you can see it here. That's wet. I just covered it all up, but basically it's cracked at the bottom of this cut all the way down through that slab. Well, what happens when we drive something heavy on top of it, like a truck or a tractor or a semi-truck? Not that we're bringing semi-trucks in here, but it pushes down on this concrete, which wants to push the top together and spread the bottom apart, right? It's going to try and push down, which will cause the bottom of that to spread apart. Well, this rebar being in there keeps that from spreading apart because it has very high tensile strength, so it can't separate. It keeps the cracks from getting big and separating and moving, and provides a ton of strength to the concrete. So yeah, that's what the rebar is for. Now, I am also not a concrete expert, but I've poured a lot of concrete. I know how it works a little bit, so correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what it's there for. Keep the cracks from spreading and provide additional strength into the concrete. And if you've ever tried to tear concrete out that has rebar in it versus concrete that doesn't have rebar in it, yeah, it works. It works very, very well. Okay, this is good. That's good. So one thing that I don't have, so we've got this brush. We're going to do a brushed finish. This was the longest pole that I could find with the correct threads to fit there. I can't reach across this slab with that the way that it is. So I think we're gonna have to go and try and find an adapter. They make an adapter that screws into this brush and then clips onto the poles that I have here. And I think I have a buddy that's got more of these poles so we can reach farther. But then we can reach all the way across to do our brushed finish. So I'm gonna go track one of those down. That's my plan. Well, I found the piece that I needed. This piece right here. This screws into the end of my broom, and then we can clip in our poles. And I bought a couple more poles because they had them. So while I was getting stuff. I was at the place that rents tools, things that I need. We're going to need a saw to cut this tomorrow morning. And I asked him, is it worth another drive back for the half-day rental versus the take it for 24 hours and bring it back tomorrow rental? And they said, we'll give you the half-day rate. Okay, so we got a saw for tomorrow morning to cut this concrete. Alright, we've got about not quite 2 hours, hour and a half before we got to be around to pour concrete. Fuel delivery today, bulk oil yesterday, fuel today apparently. Dad put a new sight gauge on there the other day. Must have been the tank was sort of low. So anyway, we're gonna go look at a few fields and go find Dad. Tell him what time we're pouring. Got some color out here. I'm a little surprised. These are my 3-4 beans, the full season ones. Not a lot, but they're just starting to show some yellow, like they're starting to mature. So that's good. There is some white mold out there. This field's got more white mold in it than any other beans that I have noticed this year. I got one other field that I've seen a little bit. Other than that, I don't have much. So that's good. But we certainly don't like seeing what we have of it here. I missed. That plant has white mold. And maybe something else killed that one. Anyway, you can see it out there. It's here. But yeah, we're starting to turn yellow. Full season beans. That's good. Look at that. Look at that 4-beaner hanging out up there. Cool. I think they're still going to be pretty good beans. These have looked good all year. He's still over here on this field where he's been trimming trees and putting in this little surface drain stuff. Cleaned up a bunch of this edge. Got a pile of logs over there. He's doing a great job. Looks really good. So last week I showed you when he was over here cleaning up this side, cutting some trees down. That looks really good. He also did some work over here. Yeah. Cleaned up this edge a lot. A couple, I don't know if those are logs for him to try and cut. I doubt it. Just push them out of the way, but yeah. Nice. It makes a big difference when you can peel the edges of the trees back and just keep them where they're supposed to be. A lot of these woods and farms around here, if you go out and start looking in the trees or back off the edge a little bit, a lot of times you can actually see the old dead furrows from back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, maybe 70s when they used to plow these fields with a moldboard plow. You'd end up with a dead furrow, like where the outside where they throw the dirt out, or potentially where the last, you know, where the last furrow was, where there's a kind of a divot and it never got filled in thing. And a lot of times they're 15, 20, 30 feet beyond the edge of the field where we're farming today, because over time the trees just kind of creep back out, and you got to farm a little bit farther away every year. So we're just kind of getting it back to where it was originally. We do have over there a pile of chicken litter. This field and one other wheat field that we don't have double crop beans growing in. We're going to get that chicken litter spread. Sounds like they may be here tomorrow. I doubt later today. They had one other person they were going to do today, and then they're coming to do that. So we're going to have to get the disc hooked up so we can work that in real quick. Another couple of weeks, probably we'll think about spraying it and getting the clover killed off, and then get the ripper out. But that's on Brock's to-do list next week, is to get the ripper hooked up and checked over, ready to go. Oh, let's walk out here and take a look at some of this corn. This is first field of corn that we planted. Day 1, 110-day hybrid. And let's see if we're black layered or how close we are. Still pretty green. At least here it's pretty green yet. I know there's a big open gap here, and this corn is really thin, but my goodness, look at these ears. Those things are massive. Oh, this hybrid. I love this hybrid. Just, yeah. That one is impressive. Well, as we get out in here, we're definitely turning a little more brown. The plants are starting to die off. The husks are turning brown, which means the ears they're close to done. Starting to see them open up a little bit. That's a good thing. Lets that moisture out, keeps it from getting moldy. We like that. Leaf-wise, yeah, there's a little tar spot here now. A little bit. It's not terrible, but it's September. First week of September. You expect to see some of that by this point. Well, it's not done yet, but it is progressing. This milk line is moving farther down that kernel. We're half milk line right now. That's an impressive ear, though. That's going to be really good corn. This is going to be good corn. All right, we came up to another field here. This is a trial that I have, kind of a trial. It's a variety trial. This I got like 3 bags of a new 112 day for next year to plant, and this is it. A little tar spot. It's burning up. I'm surprised how dry it looks. I don't think we're that dry, but it sure is rolling and looking like it's stressed and has fired up drastically, so that's not great. But the ears are turning brown. This one's even hanging down, starting to, so it's done. Let's take a look at some ears. Those are beautiful ears, just pretty. Straight rows, filled out pretty nice. That's nice, very nice. This one I think is the 111 day. That's the next planter pass over, because that's a totally different ear type than these. Those are just gorgeous looking ears. Huh. This one's a white cob hybrid. Not that it means a lot, but that's unusual. Holy cow, look at the rows on that baby. Also right around that half milk line. Looks like pretty good corn, actually. I'm impressed. So I walked over a few rows into the 111 day. It looks about the same. Actually, we got more ears hanging down over here. But here's one of those ears. Nice deep kernel of this hybrid. Milk line's maybe a little bit farther along. Maybe a third milk line instead of half. But about the same. But let me show you the difference here. So this is our typical red or pink cobbed hybrid. Like, that's what corn cobs usually look like. It's about that color. It's where the red dog or bees wings that some people call it come from. Is the chaff that comes off of there between the kernels and the cob. This is the 111 day that we've had for a while. This one is the new 112. And you can see it's very white. It does not have that red or pink color to it. This is a white cob. So the red dog will be white. Call it white dog, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, that's just a genetic difference. All right, back to concrete. I set the laser up. We're gonna just double check our forms, make a couple of small adjustments. This corner could go down 1/8 of an inch, which is nitpicky, but I can do it. So we're gonna. All right, I'm going through. I brought some stone down, and we're kind of backfilling around the outside of the forms. Personally, I don't think it does a whole lot, but it makes my dad feel better, so that's why we're doing it. I got this side pretty well done, and it'll help stiffen it up a little bit, keep it from bowing out. But my stakes are in very solid ground. They went in very hard. They don't move. They don't wiggle, so I'm not too terribly concerned about it. But we'll go around and do the other side now. Well, that might be a problem. I really want some rain, but I don't want rain for the next, 6-8 hours. Crap. It's just a little cell that's popping and sort of heading this way. It might go south of us. Or it might rain right when we start pouring. It'll be fine. Well, here comes the rain.
Yeah. Get my windows, Jack!
Huh. How about that? Well, better right before we pour than right after. 1:30 on the dot, it started raining, right when they were supposed to be here. Let's see if they can come a little late. Yep, guess we get to pour in the rain. All right. There it's over. Right as we're getting ready. Cool. It's going. start brushing. Oh, now I'm tired. That was a lot of work, but we got it in, and it looks awesome. Looks really, really good. We did a better job finishing this than I did the pad in front of the garage here, but it was not nearly as big of a pour, so expect that, I guess. I don't know if the camera can see it, but you can really see the fall in it from here. Going across and going down. But it's what it's got to be. It looks good. I'm really happy with it. We got it brushed. It's done. It's finished. Now we're just hoping that the rain holds off for a few hours until this is hard enough that it can get wet and not dimple the top. Yeah. Overall, I'm really, really happy with this. Looks awesome. So we'll let her sit here and cure overnight. We'll saw cut it in the morning and try and get forms off. And then be done with this. Oh, I got some sealer to put on too. Probably do that before we cut. Oh, cool. You guys enjoying the view, watching the concrete dry down there? Yeah, hopefully that was a decent time lapse. I got another one over there. That's hard to film in the heat of it, but that's what we can do, set up time lapses. Blue skies. We've got blue skies. Come on. Dang it. Well, there's not much I can do. Hopefully it's just really light here. But we're getting some raindrops. I'm not worried about it making the top pop or strengthen or anything like that. I'm more just concerned about the actual raindrop imprints on the concrete, because it's not going to mix in with the surface at all. So it's a good thing to keep the concrete wet once the surface is dry enough to not get, you know, messed up from the raindrops hitting it, which it's stopping and it doesn't look bad, so we're okay here. But I need about 3 more hours on it before I would feel comfortable getting a rain. Well, we survived the first rainstorm, shower, little, yeah, whatever, it was fine. Now we got to decide whether we're going to keep going or wait till next year to finish it. This is a lot better than it was. It's going to be really nice. Now's the time to do it, though. If we're going to do it this year, might as well do it right now. While we can't drive on that for a couple of weeks, we might as well do the other one right next to it so that they're the same and not a whole month that we can't drive on our driveway. I don't know. I'll decide that tonight or tomorrow, I suppose. This one's not quite as big. It's about 6-7 feet shorter than that, but otherwise it'll be a mirror image. Let's go do a little driving around. Make sure it's not too muddy at the irrigated field for the irrigation to be running, you know, like it has been for the last 3 hours since it rained. 4 hours. And I want to see if they started spreading their chicken litter yet or not. That's what I'm looking for. Judging by the smell in the air, they started spreading. But we're half a mile away from the field. Yeah, it's getting worse. That field, she's got tracks in it. They spread it today. Okay, I should probably get the tillage equipment out. There's the spreader. Let's go see if they got the other one done or not. Yeah, that one's done too. I would say they were here in the rain, given the mud on the road. Okay, well, there's our next project. We got to get that worked in. So we'll get our disc hooked up and hit it with the disc. We aren't quite ready to do the heavy tillage and get the disc ripper out. We've got to spray that clover off, kill it, and let it, or give it a couple of days to die before we do it. Plus we need to spread a little lime out there, and so we're just going to work it in lightly with the disc right now, knock the smell down, get some of those nutrients incorporated into the soil, especially the nitrogen, so it stops volatilizing and floating away, and then in a few weeks we'll get the ripper out. So it's only, what do we got there, 30 acres, 32 acres in that field, and then 40 in the other ones. We're only 70 acres. It won't take that much to do it. She'll be able to get it done tomorrow, no problem. Whoa! They got a bunch of that corn chopped off yesterday. Appears to be a lot laying on the ground there too, but hey, whatever. It's all good. Nice. Well, the ground up here at the irrigated field is still dry. It doesn't look like it rained up here hardly at all, so I'm just going to keep the irrigation rolling. Oh, it looks good. It looks real good. I've been going around laying out cut lines for in the morning, so like I got a mark right here. Basically, wherever 7.5 feet, we're going to make a cut. I kind of just went with what made the most sense. So we're going to make a cut right where the flare starts here. Go across, and then we're going to have to do another one across in here. So I split the angle in half, which would be right there. And then we're going to put one lengthwise down the center, and then from here to down there, it was 37 feet 1 inch, so every 7 feet 5 inches made it come out nice and even. Those will be different size than these, but it's fine. It's fine. My blocks don't all match in that part of the driveway either. So yeah, we'll get that done in the morning. I think we'll try and put the sealer on first, which that stuff's all in the truck in the seed warehouse. And then we'll get our chalk lines down and cut it and get the saw taken back. All right, I'm done for the day. Thanks for watching this one. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Tomorrow we're cleaning up the concrete stuff, but I might have a surprise for you guys that I'm pretty excited about. So hopefully we'll make that in tomorrow's video. Have a great night. See you later.